going. I call to order the meeting of Common Council for May 28th, 2024. Clerk?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We have 8 members present in the chambers and 8 members in Civic Clerk.
All right, so we have a quorum, so we will proceed. Now please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, entertain a motion on approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve made by Alder Prophet, seconded by Alder DeLee. Any changes there? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The agenda is approved. Just one agenda item this afternoon. Under the Finance Committee's agenda to approve the Green Bay Press Gazette as the official newspaper of the City of Green Bay from June 1st, 2024 through May 31st, 2025. Funding source is the annual operating budget. So I would entertain a motion here. Motion to approve made by Alder DeLee, seconded by Alder Prophet. Discussion here? All right, Alder Presley makes a motion to open the floor, seconded by Alder Eck. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The floor is open. If any of our guests would like to speak to us, just approach the podium, state your name and address, and you got 3 minutes.
Okay, name is Mike Hallahan, 310 West Walnut, 4th floor, Green Bay. So thank you for everybody for being at this meeting. And I guess one of the things I'd like to say is if I say to you the lowest bid wins, everybody understands the lowest bid wins, correct? But if I say to you the lowest,
You should try me.
So sorry.
that's all right. But if I say the lowest effective bid wins, that changes things. And I believe that years ago, the Green Bay City Council got it right and put the word effective in there and just didn't say lowest bid. And where I get that from is from the actual invitation for bid. That's where it says the city reserves the right to reject any or all proposals or to waive any technicality and accept any proposal that is deemed to be in the best interest of the city of Green Bay. My thoughts there are that we, the Press Times, are the heartbeat of the city of Green Bay. We're the official paper of all school districts. We're the official paper at this point in time of all municipalities. As far as high school sports, we cover all the high school sports, not just state championships. We're there on a weekend and week out basis. We don't cover just the main sports. We're covering lacrosse, we're covering swimming, in addition to baseball, basketball, and football. We're the official paper of UWGB Athletics. We're the official paper of the CP Telethon, of the Brown County Home Builders, on and on and on. We've intentionally integrated ourselves into the community because we saw that this community needed local news, local arts and entertainment, and local high school sports. This has changed the world right here. You can get all your national news for free, and you can get your flavor for free here if you want CNN or Fox. What we're doing is 100% local news, local arts and entertainment, and local sports, and we don't give our opinion left or right. We report the news. That's what we do. We're also locally owned. I'm a part owner of the paper. The majority owner is Pat Wood, Frank Wood, his father, who owned the News Chronicle. But every dollar that's spent here stays here because we're based right in Green Bay, locally owned. Our monies don't go to New York or Japan. So my hopes are today that the city of Green Bay votes the Press Times the lowest effective bid because of everything that we do in the community and who we are and what we're about. Again, we have stewardships. We're a stewardship to the homelessness in Green Bay. 2 years ago, the paper won first place for a series we did on homelessness in Green Bay. Last year, we just won Best Arts and Entertainment section in the state of Green Bay, talking about what's going on in arts and entertainment in Green Bay. We ask that you vote for the Press Times as the official paper. And if you don't, I think you all got an email today. Another thought would be to do a rebid for both the Press Gazette and the Press Times because of the information that is in the invitation for bid, saying that the city can vote what they feel is in the best interest. Any questions?
All right, thank you, sir. Any questions from council? All right.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank
the
you.
testimony. Anyone else like to speak? Seeing none. Motion to close the floor made by Elder Johnson. Seconded by Elder Eck. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The floor is closed. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or commentary from council?
I guess I would like.
Alder Hinkfus?
Can we get a comment from Joanne on, based on the information that was in the bid? And does that change any of the information that she put out today?
Sure. Attorney Bunger?
Yep, so if I'm understanding the reference correctly, I think the speaker was referring to the same notation that I highlighted in my email to you all this morning about that the city does retain its right to take action that's in the best interest of the city, that is relating to the limited discretion council has with respect to what is considered a responsive and/or effective bid, meaning whether, in this case, all of the elements for the RFB were met, or if there was any indication of falsity or misrepresentation. Council and/or the city has some discretion in rejecting a bid from consideration altogether. But once a bid responds, or a proffered bid responds to the requests and all the elements, it's responsive, and then is just determined, selection is just made based on price. So any of the other criteria or factors that were mentioned as to, local ownership or, effective coverage for local news, none of those considerations are taken into account, because the statute provides that you can't. The statute clearly provides that the only criteria that's on the floor and applicable in this situation is the price.
And this contract needs to be signed by, like, June 1st, correct?
Correct, yes.
All right.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah. Any other questions? From either Alder Hinkfus or anyone else? Alder Johnson?
Thank you, Mayor. Attorney Bunger, could you comment on, the point that was made about sort of the multiplier, right? The assumption based on past performance and how it was applied to the bidding process and the request to perhaps go through a rebidding to eliminate that level of discretion. Could you comment on that?
Sure. As to the actual process itself that was utilized, I would defer that to our finance director as to the formulation and how the specs were put together for the actual bid itself. As to whether there is sufficient basis to rebid, I'm not seeing any offhand. Typically, they would be in a situation where there is some sort of error or something that would require the city to rebid the entire contract in order to put everybody on equal footing. We can certainly look into that further. My concern with that will be, and we would look into whether there are facts that warrant it, and also we would have to look into whether it's even permitted in such a situation, because I'm not even sure that that's a viable option in this aspect. But as to, and unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time at our disposal, and my concern with that would be that would put us beyond the deadline that we have placed on us in order to have a official city newspaper selected and be able to continue transacting city business. But as to the calculations or the parameters that were set forth, I would defer to Director Ellen Becker if she has any comments.
Thank you. When we look at the information, I went through and re-verified, run several different scenarios, and it doesn't matter which scenario we used. The numbers still showed that the lowest price and lowest bid was really still Press Gazette. It didn't matter what scenario I ran, different volumes, different lines, it didn't matter, because if you look at the numbers, there's only 1 or 2 lines where the Press Gazette is low, Press Times is lower than the Press Gazette. So it didn't matter what scenario that we ran.
Okay, and then one more question, Attorney Bunker. Does the state statute require that this be a request for bid, or could we conduct this as an RFP? Not necessarily for this year, right, but I'm thinking
Right.
forward.
My understanding is that it's supposed to be a request for bid, which then delineates that it's really a price-to-price comparison without reviewing or taking into consideration any other factors.
Okay, and I recognize again that we're not going to be able to change that particular piece for this year, but I would ask that we get a little bit firmer interpretation of that to really understand what level of flexibility, if any, this body has, what statute allows versus what it doesn't allow.
All right, thanks, Alder. Any other questions or comments? Alder Prophet.
Yeah, not necessarily a question, just a comment. That it's being framed, in my opinion, as, pitting one against the other, and how I'm voting today is based solely on what the state statute says. I don't like that we are potentially opening ourselves up to litigation. I would say in future years, I would like to entertain that the bid itself, there was those 2 sentences that I do think can be misconstrued to papers that are applying for this bid. So I would like to see kind of some of the legal language that was said to us included in that proposal so that we don't find ourselves in this situation again. But I have nothing against the Press Times. I think they do phenomenal work, and that is not why I'm voting tonight. Or this afternoon, actually, solely based on state statute and the legal implications for myself.
Thanks, Alder. Anything else? All right, all in favor will say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay?
Nay.
The ayes have it.
Nay.
Oh, who is,
Who's voting verbally online?
Alderman Morgan.
Alder Morgan and Alder Grant?
Yes.
Yes.
wait, just give me 1 second because they did not sign in the civic clerk. So we have Alder Morgan and Alder Grant. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so just give me a second.
Alders Morgan and Grant, are you capable of voting on your devices?
I am not.
Okay. We do have a request to use the board from Alder Stevens, so we will do that.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay. So those that can vote by device will do that. If you don't have a device, just vote verbally.
Alder Morgan votes nay.
Thank you, Alder.
Alder Grant votes yes.
All righty, and just give me 1 second.
Sure.
Thank you, you may vote. Alder Eck and Alders Eckley and Hutchison. Alder Eck? No. Alder Lee? Yeah. All right, and that's everyone?
All right, it looks like 7-3.
Yes.
All right, that is approved. On to adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Alder Johnson. Seconded by Alder DeLee. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We're adjourned.
Aye.
Thanks.